Good day, everyone. My name is Christine Sistoso Pukot, and today we will be presenting our research proposal together with Seth Turibelias and Richfield Bitanyo. And we will be presenting the chapter 1, 2, and 3 in our research. First, we will know about what is learning. So learning is the process by which we already develop and retain attitudes, knowledge, understanding, skills, and capabilities that are not due to natural social behaviors or physical growth. Learning is the process of moving from a state of ignorance to one of attentiveness by acquiring specific knowledge in the form of numbers and figures. This research should be able to examine the process and analysis to define what has to be done in order for online learning to succeed.
Also,
Because of this research, those students with difficulties, such as financially, personally, or by simply catching up or understanding the lessons that the teachers provided, will be given a chance to change by identifying them struggles in their learning setting and putting an end to it. Statement of the problem. First is what are the things that seems lacking in an online classes as a new student. Second, what are the common issues the students encountered? The third, how does an online class affect the student? Objectives of the study. First, to know what is the barriers of the students in online learning. Second, to adjust the situation facing as a students in online class. And third, to solve the problem and advise the learners what right thing to do. This study will only focus on the barriers of grade 12 students in Central Mindanao University. The majority of students who are affected by online classes complain because there are several variations between online and face-to-face classes, and they conclude that face-to-face discussions are better. By in this study, we're going to know what's the specific problem of the student during this pandemic and online learning situation.
nowadays, most of the people in the world have gadgets and internet. So it is expected that internet will be popular, especially now during coronavirus crisis. And some people found the way to continue the education through online learning so that the students can avoid getting infected by coronavirus. You cannot expect that online learning will have any notable difference than face-to-face learning between their effectiveness because you can learn on online learning as much as you can learn on face-to-face learning. The study did not show the cause of the relationship between the barriers and the independent variable, or a variable that does not depend on anything. It probably needs some time and new methods before we can figure out the cause of the relationship between the barriers and the independent variable. Well, there are many barriers on distance learning, and as we all know, not everyone has internet or does not have a gadget to use for online learning. There is no signal on the house, no budget for load, and many distractions on the internet. We need to know what the parents think about the challenges their children are facing in distance learning during COVID outbreak. Their opinions are important so that we will know if they want their children to do online learning or just do the modular. We will not recommend using e-learning in a workplace because you will not be able to concentrate as the workplace is busy. We have to know what the student's opinion is about barriers so that we can have a countermeasure to help lessen the barriers of online learning.
Good day everyone, my name is Seth Autorivillas and today I will be discussing our chapter 3. So research design. This research is a survey research because we are observing and collecting information by asking survey questions from the senior high school students if they are affected by the barriers of online learning. Survey methods can be derived based on two important factors: the means of the survey and the time required to carry out the survey. There are three main types of surveys: online or email, phone, and face-to-face. By the way, our survey is online email, but the online email survey method is one of the most popular survey methods today. The costs associated with online research are very low and the answers collected are very accurate. Research local. This research was conducted at Central Mindanao University. This place was selected knowing that there are many senior high school students that are struggling at the barriers of online learning and tends to be stressed. We will try many kinds of therapy while the students are reviewing their lessons before taking their activity, so that we will find out what therapy suits them, be it music or gaming and etc. We will do our best so that this research will be able to help a lot of students, especially online class students. Research participants. The participants in this research study are students who are experiencing difficulties during this time in pandemic, especially those who are financially unstable, emotionally unstable, and other barriers that affects their well-being as a student in this new normal setting. The requirement for being a participant in this research is you must be a student who is struggling in no matter in what circumstances. Research instrument. In order to have an informative result, the researchers collected data through survey questionnaires as the main instrument to gather data. And these survey questionnaires are intended for those students who are having a hard time doing and finishing their academic responsibilities, and it's easy for them to answer. Sampling procedure. In this study, we analyze what exactly the difficulties on students are in online setting. This chapter consists of an empirical analysis of measures to remove barriers to learning and improving learning outcomes. The learning barriers were of course different, but in general, they shared some common factors, such as contextual, institutional, propensity, and technical factors. A total of 42 students are answered in the survey. The sample showed that 11 respondents were not actually affected by the barriers of online setup, and 31 respondents were still affected by the new learning environment. These respondents are focus of the survey. The respondents have different reasons for the survey. Data collection and analysis. This research aims to cater 20 students who are experiencing difficulties or many barriers while engaging into this new learning setting. We will collect the information through survey, Google Forms to be exact, and the questions that will be asked are simple to be answered for the rest of the questions, and the list of barriers to online learning. We calculated the frequency percentage of answers.